Oh, well, it's early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm, let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to MAGA minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks, talking southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hump Day News, we keep it real with down-home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks, talking southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give 'em a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give 'em a hand?
Southern skies, the throttles choke. Fast and fierce, racing souls, tearing through the endless cold. Twisting metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern fried racing breed. Southern fried racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Ours, speed's the creed. Southern thought, racing breed.
Yeah. Played a little bit of our racing show music for you. I like how that turned out. And you can find that each Tuesday or Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on Dean's schedule. It will flip each week. So this week it'll be Tuesday, or next week. This is still this week. I feel like Kamala Harris. The time for today is time and tomorrow is today. Confuses me. Anyway, next week, our show was last night. I don't know, actually, Thursday night. I tell you, I'm caught up in Kamala world. I can't think. Mention her name and I just lose it all. This week, our show is Thursday. Next week, if there is a next week, I'm in a time warp. It'll be Tuesday night. So, welcome back. For those that could come back from the last show, it may be a total new crew. That's okay too. Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast. This is the Southern Fried MAGA. Our background is called the MAGA Minute. We do that Monday through Friday. I'll be releasing some of those. Some of those that have not been released. And matter of fact, I may try to download one here on a commercial break and bring that up on stage, and we'll show one today because haven't been doing that, but I'm sure that I need to. And usually on Sunday afternoons, I record a lot of those. Sometimes I record them through the week, but there are times that I record those on Saturday. And it's amazing how often those are right on point on the very day that I do them. Now, I do project out and I'm looking at news that is occurring. And sometimes, we make an adjustment. But most of the time, those MAGA minutes are dead on. And let me tell you, it makes a lot of people mad. That's how you know you're doing something that's worthwhile. Some people love it. Some people hate it. And we get cursed a lot on some platforms. I won't name them. I've even been challenged, like I've been told, we don't want you here. You're full of hate. Da 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 da. Wah 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 wah. All they do is make me go, oh yes, another attack of MAGA man. That's what I feel like. I'm swooping in. The fact that I made them respond. I sent Rob one day. I sent Rob a string of responses. Let me see if I texted him these. I said, "This is when you know that you're that you're doing something good." Now, some of these was more on other issues, but I was trying to think. Here's one I have to paraphrase due to the language. Blank Trump. You can figure out the first word. Racist, stupid, blankety blanker. That was the response to one of the MAGA minutes from last week, I believe it was. I'm confused as to why you follow me, friend. Do you support them? If you do not, please watch my clips about capitalism. I gave them a follow because I like something I had to say. You see where we're at in the world? You can't follow anybody unless you completely agree with their ideologies. That's what they believe. If you do anything else, if you're about anything else, then why are you following me? And it's like that, you're creating thought for them. No, I follow people from all different backgrounds. I may think you're a funny person, may not agree with you, but I may think you're funny, or I may think I like a talent you have or whatever. I mean, after all, I like a lot of music, and a lot of musicians hate President Trump. This is a fact. They're all a bunch of liberals. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them, especially in the rock world, in your arts, they hate him. So, but I may like their music. I mean, I always liked Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac is as liberal as they come. They sung at the Clinton. When they say "Don't Stop," that was the song they sang there, in their big election day. Oh. I was trying to think. Here's one. It's a man with his uncle, brother, dad. Put down of us. Welcome to Blankerville. I'm not going to say the word because it's not nice to say, where we talk about how to keep our family tree a nice tight circle. Oh, here's one that said, "Make America Great Again. When was it ever great, and for whom was it great?" Oh, aren't you clever? Aren't you clever? Stuff it. Doesn't bother me a bit. I laugh at it. You got to have some thick skin when you're online, because there's some. If you let them get to you, they'll get to you. I had a guy one time. He was a supervisor, and he was really a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. But you got to be a little. You can't let them win. You can't let them win. And I remember he come to me and he said his crew had turned on him. What? Mutiny? He said they're calling my home and talking or sending my wife messages and telling lies that I'm doing this and doing that and making her upset. And I'm like, and you're putting up with that, dude? Set up the beachhead right now and get a hold of this deal. They run him out of town. You're not running me out of town. You can hate on me, but you're not running me out of town. Turn channel. You don't have to watch it. That's what I think about these people out there. Get out of here. We don't want you here. Too bad. I'm here and I'm here to stay. What are you going to do about it? Report me? They may have tried that. It didn't amount to nothing. We didn't do anything that was wrong. It doesn't work. But there are people out there that are crazy. I understand why some people don't very careful about things, because there's people that say, they're crazy. There's some crazies out there. So, but here in the South, we believe in castle doctrine. That's all I'll say. Oh yeah. So if you're gonna come in my castle and you're not invited, hello, Lewis. You might find out the rules of how the rules work at my castle. No, I wouldn't want to have to do that. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying that. I don't like that kind of attitude. I'm just saying, have y'all seen the video? I'm good, brother. I wasn't feeling too good last night, but I feel good. Have you seen the video of the guy? It was on one. I've seen it before, but I could watch it 100 times in a row. The guy running up in the yard to steal the Trump sign. The guy had electrified it. Oh, ow. It fall down, stumbling out. It's like, you know what? What are you doing? Castle doctrine, baby. What are you doing up in somebody else's yard trying to take their stuff? You knucklehead. You know what? I see people that's like going down the road and the car in front of you has like some people like to make it a billboard, right? They got stuff everywhere, and you read, they got some of it's offensive, but I just like, you knucklehead, consider the source. I still see people riding around with their Biden Kamala stickers on their car. I'm wondering if they forgot it's there or if they used it as like they want to show you just exactly what they're about. It's America, baby. I don't care. It doesn't bother me a bit. But then there's those same people. They'll go down the road and they'll see your bumper sticker or something about, I don't know, whatever it's about. It could be the president MAGA. I don't care. And they're flipping you off and blowing the horn and telling you you're an idiot. And go live a life, dude. Life is too short. I mean, sometimes I look at the back of the car and I'm like, okay, this is a knucklehead. But I don't care. It's their space. Leave them alone. You're back to driving Uber again. Uber man. We're here to Uber. Well, I hope you're safe out there, man. Did you get you another car? I mean, I think you said yours got totaled, man. I hope that means you got another vehicle and get out there and Uber Eats, right? I've done some security at a hospital, and I had Uber Eats come in a lot. It's the funniest thing to me. It's a rehabilitation hospital. Now, you'd think a lot of those orders were for the nurses and staff, and that's true. It does happen. But you'd be amazed at how often somebody's in the hospital and they order. Used to be your options was family, cafeteria in a hospital. Not anymore, because they pull up and they'll say, I'm here for patient so-and-so in room whatever. Okay, well, I can't let you go down there. It's past time, but I can take it down there. And I'm up here exchanging money and stuff for a patient. It's the funniest thing, but they're not in there because they're in critical condition. They have something they're rehabbing, something they can't be at home for. It's serious, and so but they're still ordering out pizza and whatever else. Um, do you go to hospitals, Lewis? Do you ever get called in to like a patient or something? They've called in an order. I think that's funny. I don't know. It's just different. I come from a different time, I guess, and it's the way the world works now. Welcome to all those in Podbean, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Sounds like ABC song. And I left off a couple. Kick, Twitch. What else? I think that's it. Greenland. I brought it up in the last program. You got another order to take care of. Your hospital for doctors too. Well, okay, man. You take those orders in. I appreciate you listening while you're going. We appreciate you giving us your time. Greenland, Operation Greenland. So Victor Davis Hanson, I do want to read another article here in a second about from Victor Davis Hanson. I saw this one. This was a completely different one, but I'm going to cover the Greenland first. And I told you, if you're not following Victor Davis Hanson, you need to. I would hope that everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice is familiar with this man. I don't often talk about, other things because I figure you'll find them. I don't mind recommending stuff, but I definitely always want to promote Victor Davis Hanson. And before I get into Greenland, let me just go to his. I read a short piece he had last show about the Greenland situation. Is always on target. But he has another article. This is opinion piece. This is about. I was trying to get the name right. Who's the name of this person that? I'm trying. It may be an overall broad one, but I thought it was speaking of one person specifically. But here's a little piece for you. Victor Davis Hanson, from profanity chick to terrorist porn. Now that's an article that will get your attention. This is Victor Davis Hanson, highly respected. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. You can find this one at Dan Bongino. On his Locals channel, by the way. We do air on Locals for 30 minutes. This show will be airing on Locals right now for 30 minutes, and then that's all we get. So, we got to get bigger, pay for it, I guess, but we get 30 minutes free. Anyway, so the Democratic Party is polling at about 27% approval and sinking, like a rock. In 2024, it lost the White House, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and both the popular vote and the Electoral College, 312 to 226. In 2024, Donald Trump won over 46% of the Hispanic vote. Amazing. Including a majority of Hispanic men. Trump also likely captured 26% of the black male vote, doubling his 2020 total. In 2024, Trump increased his 2020 vote total in every single state, and he won 89% of all of the counties in the United States. Think about that. 89%. Wow. On every issue, Democrats sided with strident leftist movements rather than the majority of Americans. They supported globalism over nationalism, high-priced green energy over lower gas and electricity prices, and an open border, and 12 million unaudited illegal aliens over security and legal-only immigration. They seem unconcerned with our $36 trillion debt or the deterrence lost abroad that led to 2 theater-wide existential wars. Democrats stay mum. Hey, thank you for that, Jeff. I appreciate you liking the song. Democrats stay mum about unfair trade and budget deficits. They prefer the Black Lives Matter fixation on the color of our skin rather than Martin Luther King's emphasis on the content of our character. Amen, brother. They support allowing biological men to overpower women in female sports events in opposition to 80% of the electorate. Democrats face choices after their catastrophic defeat last year. One, they could have stopped the hemorrhaging of their base of the 18 to 30-year-olds, black men, Hispanics, independents by moving toward the center. I said this. I said that they needed to get more towards the center. They could even have worked with Trump and perhaps sought to take credit for joint successes. There has been some to do that. Others could have done that as well. They didn't. Instead, they doubled down on resistance through street theater terror check. Democratic senators cut a group attack video. Whoops, I dropped my phone. Don't do that. They cut an attack video, which they each echoing the potty word SH apostrophe T. We know what the word is. In a House ad, Democratic female members mimicked ninjas kicking and punching at the camera as if hitting their Republican opponents. Former vice presidential candidate and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Mr. Knucklehead himself, boast about kicking the A of Republicans. Like, that guy could kick anybody. Come on, man. He is a knucklehead. A-hole is now the standard Democratic epithet for Musk, as voiced by Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. We'll just use the letter D. You can figure it out. Is the preferred Musk slur for Minnesota Senator Tina Smith. Xenophobia is also now Democratic chick. Walz smears Musk, an American citizen, as a South African Nepo baby. Other Democratic representatives question Musk's loyalty, asking which country is Musk loyal to? Or they further boast, were Democrats going to send Elon back to South Africa? An unhinged Representative Maxine Waters, boy, don't you just love her, shouts that she wants First Lady, you heard about this, Melania Trump deported, given she too is a naturalized citizen. But those theatrics have now escalated into near overt support for violence. And this is something I mentioned, is that they're threatening not only, they're threatening the president, but also others. Democrats are now blocking the deportation of dangerous illegal aliens affiliated with the terrorist designated Tren de Aragua. By the way, the judge who just temporarily halted, saying you can't send those that are not citizens of another nation to another nation for lockup, you are a jackleg and an idiot, which is our word for idiot. So the double negative there for us, but with jackleg sounds better. What a stupid guy. Come on, man. And the president is seeking support from the Supreme Court. I mean, just de-export them the heck out of here. I don't care where you send them, and neither should this judge. Are you kidding me? How do they even have standing in our court system? They're not supposed to be here. He said, he mentioned humanitarian. Humanitarian, they're criminals. Lock them up. What the heck? Victor Davis Hanson goes on to say they try to stop the deportation of resident alien Mahmoud Khalil, arch Hamas supporter, apologist for the murders of October 7th, and a spokesman for the most violent student group at Columbia. To stop Musk's advisory department of government efficiency, DOGE, and its identification of government waste, fraud, and abuse, leftist cabals are now terrorizing Musk's Tesla brand nationwide. Have you seen I'm trying to be wise with my words here. Have you seen the very large dude in the, I don't know what that guy's sitting on. Have you seen this video? The guy's sitting on it looks like a scooter, but it's got like a gas powered, and he's running into Teslas, which by the way he's just running around town hitting Teslas, which doesn't do anything. I mean, really, it looks like it's just killing him and the whatever he's on. But now they're attacking the Teslas, sure. They seek to destroy cars, dealerships, and charging stations. Individual Tesla owners are sometimes tailed, confronted, and threatened. Democrats claim no formal role in such terror, but more or less seem to approve of its ends and means. Left-wing comic Jimmy Kimmel winks and nods on national television about the current violent Tesla terrorist campaign. This is America, folks. Tim Walz, Mr. Knucklehead himself, celebrates the resulting drop in the Tesla stock price. As Minnesota's governor overseeing his state's sizable investment in Tesla, Walz could care less about trash talking his own taxpayers' investments. And here's the winner herself, Representative Jasmine Crockett boasts that quote, must be taken down, end quote. This is the one who also said the horrible things, as we know, about Texas governor. She brags she wants to physically assault Senator Ted Cruz, who, quote, has to be knocked over the head like hard, end quote, adding, quote, I think you punch. I think you okay with punching. Of course, she put the SIC in there. Her wording is not comprehensive, understandable. Crockett even mocked disabled and wheelchair-bound Texas Governor Greg Abbott, quote, you know, all we got Governor Hot Wheels down there, and the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey, end quote. Come on. That's what we're dealing with. Victor, always on target, always stating the obvious in ways that we can appreciate. Former Democratic House member and once censured Representative Jamal Bowman claimed Musk was, quote, a Nazi and an incompetent thief. Democrat Representative Al Green, we remember from the speech to Congress, the address to Congress, was censured by the House for disrupting the Trump joint address to Congress and led away screaming and shaking his cane at the president and failed efforts to shut down the speech. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who once issued threats to Supreme Court justices, you remember that? Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh by name, now boast, quote, we have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences in vote. Is this not incite to riot? Furious at their own increasing, it's almost over, furious at their own increasing impotence, these contemporary Democratic Jacobins are dabbling with their own version of a reign of smut terror. They are probably too impotent to derail the country, but they are certainly destroying themselves. Again, the tagline for Victor Davis Hanson. If you're not following him, you are missing out. Follow him today. He is the distinguished fellow of the Center for American Greatness. He is a classicist and historian at the Hoover Institution, Stanford University, and the author of, quote, The Second World Wars, How the First Global Conflict Was Fought and Won, from Basic Books. You can reach him by emailing at authordh@gmail.com. Author VDH, for Victor Davis Hanson. Author, AUTHORDVDH@gmail.com. I love reading his stuff. Absolutely love it. Victor Davis Hanson. You're awesome, man. Stating the obvious, stating it like it is. These people are jacklegs, and yeah, they just continue to call for more violence. He's right on target, as he always is, and he's calling it out, and we should call it out. And at some point, these people have to be in trouble for calling on violence like that. Somebody's going to get hurt, or unfortunately, somebody's going to get killed, and you got to lay that at their feet because they're pushing sick people to do sick things. They're stirring up the crowd. They're inciting to riot. You remember when he was right. Remember when they were sending the people to the Supreme Court's homes, which were not in some gated community that you couldn't get to. They were out on the street. They just walked up in front of their house, started screaming. Can you imagine that? Crazy. It's got to stop. Absolutely has to stop. These people are twisted. They're sick, but they act like they're on the moral high ground. They're not moral good about anything. These people are card-carrying, I'll say it, communists. That's what they are because they want the takedown, the overthrow of America. They want the destruction of it. Remember the senators and or the people of Mississippi trying to carve their own little nation out? Remember that? Those people are still out there. There's people like that. They don't think the rules apply to them. They're carving their own little nation out. Not going to happen. Got to stop that. Send these people to jail that do these kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, and this is going to escalate. This is going to escalate if something's not done. And we'll be back in the same old mess. You know, cities on fire, and then we'll have the the legacy networks out there going, "Oh, there's just peaceful protest, folks," while the buildings are burning behind them. Famous video. Um, just crazy, absolutely crazy. Welcome to Southern Fried MAGA, and I'm Dave in the AM, your host. We come on every Saturday around the 10ish mark. I was a little after this morning because we were doing a show. A little after, but we'll go for an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. And then we have lots of other shows. If you follow us, you know this. We are found on about 11 different streams, and that meaning more where we don't go live, but we post our programming. And very soon we'll have our email campaign. Send us your email to the email you see across the bottom. Southern Fried Podcast at yahoo.com. We're gonna start an email campaign. We promise one email a week, no more, less than that probably. We will not share your information. And for everybody that sends us their email in the next to our email, that sends it to our email, so that we can keep up with it and get it in our MailChimp email campaign. We're going to send you a sticker. Yes, Jake, if you're out there somewhere, I still have your sticker, and we're going to send you a sticker and put your name in a drawing for a shirt of your choice of size and or color and logo from our store, a drawing to be held live on the air. These will probably happen every 6 weeks or so, that we'll have some sort of a campaign and a drawing for something from our store. Also, remember, this program is brought to you by, among our many affiliates, we'll get through them throughout the show, but we have Dubby Energy Drinks, of which I have some in my water bottle right now. This is a great flavor. Dubby, you do not get the jitters or the crash. Love their stuff. This is one of their tubs. Dubby, this is the mystery flavor they sent me. Boy, it is good. I mean, smells awesome. And you don't get the crash. I'm a customer, I'm telling you. Wow, love it. No sugar added. No sugar added. Jitterless energy blend. But this is great. It's supposed to help your mental acuity. I need all the help I can get. Dubby Energy Drinks. Use promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get a percentage of a discount. As well as you can go to Mammoth Nation. Mammoth Nation, become a member there. You can do that as low as $5 a month. Use Southern Fried, or use our QR code. Excuse me. You can see that on screen. Our QR code. We'll be playing that. Use the QR code, and that'll take you right in. And when you join, you're going to get all kinds of discounts. You're going to get that money back in spades. I'm telling you, that is a great organization. I'm a customer as well. I have bought several things from them. They're the companies they represent, all America First companies. I'm a lifetime member. That's how much I believe in Mammoth Nation. And you'll get savings, all kinds of savings, and you help support the Southern Fried. Podbean, which we're airing on right now, is a audio platform, and we love it. They help us air out to many other platforms. We're on about 10 to 11 different audio streams. All we got to do is plug into Podbean, do our show, boom, goes out. And we appreciate them. Great platform. We had some friends in there earlier. Nobody's in there right now. It's an echo in there, but they'll come in. But great people. And then, yes, Patriot Mobile. Make the switch today. Make the switch today. Promo code. You see on the screen. Cornbread. You get your first month free, and you help the Southern Fried going forward at whatever plan level you take. Their average cost per month is $40, but there is a plan for $26. Depends on your needs. So get with them today. They stand on 4 pillars: First and Second Amendment, pro-life. You don't see many companies doing that. America First, baby. Love me some Patriot Mobile. We're just now getting onboarded, but the promo code is live. You're going to be seeing much more about that. And let me take my first commercial break, and we'll be right back. We'll come back in with a little music, and we'll dive into this Greenland news. I want to kind of get into this Greenland news. So let me run a couple of commercials here. We'll be right back. Hey, Southern Fried fans and your Cornbread Nation. Well, yeah, that's right. We're going to advertise for Mammoth Nation. To all proud Americans, we call attention to these thoughts. Are you tired of woke corporations that don't align with your values? I know we are. Look no further than Mammoth Nation, the ultimate destination for patriots like you and me
and Rob and everybody else, including old crazy Uncle Jeb, who believe in putting America first. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we're proud to partner with Mammoth Nation because they share our unwavering commitment to faith, family, and yes, freedom. Just like us, Mammoth Nation believes in the power of the American spirit and the importance of preserving our great nation's heritage. When you join Mammoth Nation, you're not just getting access to amazing discounts on products and services, you're becoming a part of a community that stands against the forces trying to tear our country apart. From supporting veterans and first responders to promoting Christian values, Mammoth Nation is the go-to platform for conservatives who want to make their voices heard. So what are you waiting for? Join the Mammoth Nation movement today and start enjoying exclusive deals from businesses that share your America First values. Together, we can make America great again, one purchase at a time. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support a company that truly cares about our nation's future. Sign up for Mammoth Nation now and experience the difference of a community that puts America first. Use that QR code on the screen, folks, and that will take you right to the website where we also will be helped in your support of these values. We are customers of this great American company. Rob is a monthly supporter, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. We're so appreciative of companies like this. Please be a supporter, not just for us, but for America. These companies need our support. We're patriots. Stand together with patriots. Take care, and God bless.
Got me under pressure. She got me under pressure. She likes the art museum. She don't like Pamela Dawn. She's fond of the man museum.
Yes, the great, for those in the other streams, not Podbean. I'm sorry you didn't hear ZZ Top, just the way we have to stream it. But the great ZZ Top, you got me under pressure. Love me some ZZ. They're still out there getting it. Unfortunately, Dusty has went on to his eternal home, and the boys carry on and continue to bring shows to the masses. You know, there's a lot of, let me say this real quick before we get in the news. There's a lot of groups out there that if you are a fan of music and classic groups, classic rock groups, even country, there's a number of them you better see in the next year or so, or you're never going to see them. Maybe you've seen them before. This will be the last time, or maybe you've never seen them. There are so many artists that are reaching, elder years. They're in their 70s, sometimes 80s. They're out there still performing at a level which is still good. I'm not saying it's the same as it was 45, 50 years ago, but they're still performing at a really high level. But you're running out of time. Now, there's a lot of groups that have came along. They're younger, but these classic groups, some have already faded from the scene. Don't wait, because you won't see them much longer. It's just one, physically, they'll reach a point where they can't, or they're going to pass away. And that's just life. That's just saying. So, they may continue on or they may not, but it won't be the same because it'll be a little bit different group. But there's a number of groups this past few months that have said we're hanging it up. Now, unless you're Kiss, Kiss, the forever marketing geniuses, Paul and Gene especially, they did their end of the world last tour, 3-year tour. And yes, they were gone, but now they're back. They're going to do a Vegas show. And people ask them about it. They said, oh, that was with the makeup on. This show's not with the makeup. Gene has been going around the world playing with his band, but now Kiss is reforming for a show, or I don't know if it's a series or one show. I think one show in Vegas. I think the Kiss Lounge Act is going to happen. There's going to be the Vegas residency. It's probably the preparatory for that. So Motley Crue did it. There's a number of bands. They give you the final world tour. You pay all that money for those tickets. This is the last time you're going to see these groups. And what do? They bring you the next world tour. Oh, I love it. Tim Waltz new theme song, Macho Macho Man by the Village People. A little bit of a hiccup there. Trump needs to declare a national emergency. Those judges should be trading their robes for robes. We are in a national emergency. You make a great point. We are absolutely in a national emergency. We have people that are singularly themselves deciding to stop the government from exercising and doing their job, which is to protect the safety and security of the nation. That's one of the main functions of our government. I mean, our government has gotten involved in things they never were supposed to be involved with. And so now you've got, somebody's trying to do something to get, de-export these people the heck out of here. And you got these, liberal hacks, bleeding heart, card-carrying communists, I'll say it, that are saying, oh, we got to consider humanitarian of them. We're sending them to countries where they're not from. We can't do that. That's not the humanitarian thing to do. So we're supposed to keep them here in America, which is not their country of origin, and lock them up here. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Get these people out of here. And well, I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish that on anybody. But my mom always taught me, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say, because it could happen to you. And you don't wish bad on anybody. My mom was very wise. My mom loved everybody. She taught me to love everybody. Obviously I'm not going to let somebody hurt me or nothing like that. I don't wish bad on somebody, but they did always say that. I guess that was more of a superstition type thing, that you don't say something. Some people call it karma. I don't really care to use that word, because that's not a Christian. You reap what you sow is a biblical expression that is absolutely true. It may not come back exactly, but you just don't say that about people. You don't do it. And that, you know what? I don't care who they are. I don't care what political party they're from. If a Republican said that, I would be just as upset about it. You don't do people like that. That's not what you do. You just don't do that. That's just out of bounds. And you show what's in your heart. Your heart is sick. It's scum to say something like that. You don't do it. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're mad about. I don't care what you think your fight is, or your value that you're standing on. You don't talk about people like that. That's sick. And not only are they talking about them with mockery and just, these scummy sayings they're saying, but they're wishing violence upon them. I mean, let's face it. I'm not going to say in a particular case, but we know they'd be doing the victory in the street if, say, the governor was not only confined to the wheelchair, but also attacked. And if he was laying on the street, bloodied, and wheelchair wheels spinning, there are some members of Congress, I believe, be celebrating. I believe that. I'm not going to say names. Lawyers are standing by. But I'm just going to say it that way, because I believe it to be true, because they've shown me the hatred in their heart. And if you're a human being that celebrates that kind of thing, you need to check up, because it's not right. I say, put them on trial, lock them up, whatever. When they, commit these horrible things, we got to start having some, you can't incite people like that. We got to have to start calling people out on that. When they're talking about, and Maxine Waters was one of them, I'll say that name because you can go and watch the videotape. And she said to disrupt people at their restaurants and don't, basically sent the people after them. And nobody much said anything from the left, because they support it. In fact, there were liberal businesses that were kicking people out of their restaurants and saying, we don't want your business. Or they allowed others to come in and disrupt these people's dinner with their family. That's sick. Another area you stay away from is people's kids. Leave them alone. Don't mess with somebody's kids. I don't care which side of the aisle. Leave the kids alone. Once they become adult, if they want to engage themselves in the political scene, then you can have debate with them and they become fair game. I get that. But you just don't attack minor children. You're sick people. Barron Trump is old enough now if they want to, and I think he's more than willing, that Godfather look he has. I think he's more than willing. I think he's put his hands together and he has that look like, yes, What do you wish from your godfather? Kiss the ring. Oh, I don't know if he said it or not, but I thought it was highly hilarious when they were saying what he said to former President Biden and others before he crossed back over. They had him saying, his mother saying, be nice, but he's angry. I think he's angry. I think he's telling them, leave my dad alone. Tell me you don't stand up for your parents. I don't care who you are. You stand up for your parents. That's mama, that's daddy. You can hate them, but you better leave them alone. That's just the way it goes, brothers and sisters. You just don't mess with mama and daddy. How many fights have been started because somebody called you mama something? I'm doing it. Not doing it. You may do it, but you know what? You just don't do that. There's some things that are out of bounds. You don't talk about somebody's mama. Don't do it. We're big on that here in the South. We don't do it. You can hate us. You can hate our guts. You can mock us. You can say, well, don't come to my face and say something about my mama. Not going to end well. I can walk away. You can call me whatever you want. And I'm going to protect minor children in my presence too. That's a quick way to get the fighting side of me, is to say something about my wife or my grandchildren, my mama. Man's got to stand up. What is it the old Western saying? A man's got to do what a man's got to do. And if you don't, you're not a man. I mean, come on. Oh, please don't talk about my family that way. No, that's not the way that conversation goes. Oh, I had a boy, and we're friends now. Ain't it funny how these things change? He kicked my sister down one day. Oh, it was on. Oh, family was trying to make me out the bad guy. Leave him alone. I said, you tell him to leave my sister alone, I'll leave him alone. They said, he did what? I said, he kicked my sister down. She's a little kid. And they got onto him. To their credit. They didn't know this. They thought I was just being a big bully as he was being taken around like a rag doll. Like I was the bad guy. No. He started it. He kicked my sister. She's over here laying on the ground crying. So was he. I better behave. I'm going to get in trouble. Oh, Greenland. What in the world? We read what Victor Davis Hanson had to say. President Trump, in his Oval Office address, remarks, not truly an address, but remarks, said that it's, quote, it's not a question, do you think we can do without it? Now, this is important. Words have power. And so there's some have said, I think early on it was kind of like a joke, but the wording has amped up, the seriousness has amped up, and I think we're at a point now where we could see the intent here. And just listen to what they have to say. It's not a maybe. It's now going to happen in some way, form, or fashion, according to what we're hearing. President Trump told reporters Friday in an appearance airing live on Newsmax, we can't, if you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. He's saying, we've got to have it. We've got to protect our flank. It is a self-governing territory under the umbrella of Denmark, which manages its defense, foreign relations, and monetary policy. I said in the last program, who can Greenland stand against between those two nations if they decided they wanted it? Trump added that control of Greenland, quote, is very important for the peace of the world, not just us, the peace of the entire world. I think Denmark understands it. I think Europe understands it. And if they don't, take this quotation, we're going to have to explain it to them. That sounds like the Godfather right there, right? Go have a talk with them. Sal, Vinny, go have a talk with them. I hope they understand it, but if they don't, explain it to them. And if they need the understanding, bring them to me. He added that the United States will not be, quote, relying on Denmark or anybody else to take care of that situation. end quote. The governments of both Greenland and Denmark have spoken out against any takeover of the territory, and Trump insisted Friday that, quote, we get along very well with Denmark, which does a lot of business in the United States, end quote. I think everybody wants to see that work out. He said about a U.S. takeover of Greenland. He added that the administration isn't talking only about peace for the United States, but by taking control of the island, but about world peace. Folks, there's something afoot. And call it readiness, call it things that's not being reported, movements, things that our intelligence gathering has collected. I don't think I'm out of line here to say that, and I've said it for some time, that China's getting ready for military action. I think everybody knows this. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's the monster, it's the beast, the old big, smelly, hairy moose thrown on the table that nobody admit at the dinner table is there. China has been getting prepared on war footing for some time. They've made threats. They're not playing. So you can sit back and wait or not. This is what this is about. The quickness and seriousness of this is telling me it's like a bullhorn. We're getting ready for some sort of confrontation. And everything they have said is we've had our attention on Russia, Ukraine, the Middle East, but the real attention is China, and it has been. And they're making feints on Taiwan, but also on the West. So I think that's what you're hearing here. He added that the situation is more urgent because of the growth of modern day weaponry, where 100 years ago it would have been less so because of the water roadways around Greenland. They're opening up icebreakers out there, said Trump. They're heading right into China, right into Russia. And this is the last words that he said on this, and we have no choice. That's strong on a Saturday, folks, or on Friday when this was released. That's strong. Very, very strong. Another article, Putin. Trump's Greenland ambitions are, quote, serious. He said this on Thursday. He believes President Trump is serious in his proposal to annex the Danish territory of Greenland. This is his quote. Quote, we are talking about serious plans on the American side with regard to Greenland, Putin said in an Arctic forum in the northern Russian city of Murmansk, according to Newsweek. He reportedly began his remarks by saying that it would, quote, be a grave mistake to think that this is just some eccentric talk of the new American administration, end quote. Rather, it's, quote, nothing of the kind, Putin said, pointing out that Trump's idea is not a new one. Similar proposals date back to the 1860s, he said, when Secretary of State William Seward explored the idea of annexing both Greenland and Iceland. The plan was ultimately rejected by Congress. These plans have deep historical roots, and it's clear the U.S. will continue to advance its geopolitical, military, and economic interest in the Arctic. Putin continued. This is all from our enemy, Vladimir Putin. As for Greenland, I believe this is a matter between two states and does not directly concern us. What worries us is that NATO countries are increasingly identifying the far north as a potential staging ground for future conflicts. He added, while Russia has never threatened anyone in the Arctic, notice he said in the Arctic, Putin said, we are watching recent developments very closely. Moscow, quote, will not allow an encroachment of the sovereignty of our country, he said, warning that the number of Russian military servicemen in the Arctic will be rising. Does it sound like this is just passing talk? It's getting serious. And it's getting serious by the day. Additionally, he said Russia is developing response capabilities by upgrading our military infrastructure. We will protect our national interest. According to Newsweek, he also suggested that diplomacy surrounding the situation in the Arctic remains viable with, quote, friendly states, possibly including Western countries. I'm confident that the time for such projects will definitely come. Trump told reporters on Tuesday that the U.S. will go, quote, as far as we have to assert control over Greenland. Serious, serious business. People mock me on here for covering things like this. Is what they're saying. Are we not going to listen to what they say? They say he's just joking. Does this sound like a joke? It doesn't sound like a joke to me. I'm not saying don't support him. I'm just saying this is news, and we're going to talk about it. This is what we're going to talk about, and that's what we talk about in this. This is MAGA. We're covering what's going on in the movement, which encompasses our administration, and this is where we're at. And I'm not saying that it's serious, because it tells me there's something going on. There's a fear that we're not prepared to guard that flank, and we want that battle away from America. We don't want that attack to come in that way, and we need that staging ground for possible protection for other places. Not just American interests, but also we're looking at, that's just facts, folks. That's what we're looking at. I'm not a military strategist, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that you need a staging ground. One, there's a lot of, as he said, naval traffic there. They're probably afraid that they're going to do the same thing, and we're trying to get there first. And two is to have a staging ground to be ready for further operations. The capabilities, because, your carrier groups can come under attack. There's a lot of things, but you would have a launching off point. And a lot of countries right now are not being friendly with us concerning our military bases. Some of them have forced the closing of some of them and the downsizing of them. There's also talk about us getting out of some other countries. This has been controversial for some time, and those countries are saying, well, some of them enjoy it, but they don't like it, but they live with it because they want the protection from the American military. We've heard this from Germany, from Japan, and yes, Turkey. Big military bases, Marine, Army, Air Force, as well as our ships have been refused to dock at certain places to refuel. This has all happened recently. It's getting serious, and so I think that's what you have to take it that way. So the words at first were more comical or kind of joking, or it would be great. It has turned into something else, and so a lot of news this morning about it. So there is a space base. U.S. military has a space base in Greenland. It's called Pituffik. I don't know if that's how you said it or not. Pituffik. Pituffik. Help me there. It is a remote in northwestern Greenland. Vice President J.D. Vance was visiting yesterday. It is the Department of Defense, DoD's northernmost installation. The base was built following a 1951 defense agreement between Denmark and the United States. It supports missile warning, missile defense, and space surveillance operations for the U.S. and NATO. The base is located on the northwestern coast of Greenland, and it's about 1,200 kilometers, or 750 miles north of the Arctic Circle, and about 1,524 kilometers, or 947 miles south of the North Pole. It is about 930 miles north of Greenland's capital, Nuuk. Nuuk, N-U-U-K. That's an interesting name. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sometimes I mispronounce those, Norwegian and Denmark. Nuuk. That's interesting. It was known as the Thule Air Base until 2023, when it was renamed to recognize Greenlandic cultural heritage and reflect its role in the relatively new U.S. Space Force. The base is locked in by ice for 9 months of the year, but its airfield remains open all year round. And that's what I'm talking about. In constant darkness from November to February, and constant daylight from May to August. Well, that's hard on the body. Can you imagine being in constant dark? I mean, you can always darken your windows in daylight, but coming out and it's always dark, that'd be depressing. And it is proven, we know this from Alaska, it is proven to be very hard on the mental health of those who live in that. It is operated by the 821st Space Base Group, and also home to the world's northernmost deepwater seaport. The nearest town is Kanak. It's about 75 miles to northwest, so a little bit. I honestly did not know much of that. I didn't know that we had that there, to be honest. So interesting. One other one, former Ambassador Sands to Newsmax, Greenland wants independence from Denmark. Denmark's attempt to prevent Greenland from working closely with the U.S. and President Donald Trump ultimately will fail, former U.S. Ambassador Carla Sands told Newsmax on Friday. Sands appeared on Wake Up America the same day Vice President J.D. Vance, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, and their wives visited this space base we just mentioned amid the backdrop of Trump having said the U.S. should in some form control the mineral-rich territory of Denmark, a traditional U.S. allied NATO member. Before the U.S. delegation's visit, Danish Prime Minister met Frederiksen, praised Greenlanders, and said they have not been cowed. Sands, who was ambassador to Denmark during the first Trump administration, told co-hosts Charlotte McBride and Mark Lauder that Frederiksen's message likely very much weight. Quote, first of all, to the Prime Minister of Denmark's statement, Greenland doesn't want to be a part of Denmark either. They want to be independent. So this is really rich coming from her. Up there, I think probably the Danish government is gleeful, that they've scuttled a wonderful diplomatic moment for Greenlanders and the Americans. But it won't last because Greenland wants to be independent. Sands added that independent Greenland could still work close with the U.S. There are ways to have independent countries have an association with the United States where we can secure them and we can help to invest in them to build infrastructure and a prosperous economy. She said, quote, that's what America does. We've done it with places like Micronesia, Palau. They have something called COFA, Compacts of Free Association, or a Free Association Agreement with the United States. So I think Greenlanders and President Trump will find a way to find each other and secure Greenland. I don't think they want to be speaking Russian or Chinese. I would say that. Sands said Frederiksen's message before the U.S. delegation's visit destroyed, quote, that beautiful diplomatic moment between the United States and Greenland. Vice presidential visits and the wife of the vice president visits always come with benefits too, Sands said. There are things that we do in a diplomatic relationship that are good for the other country, especially under a Trump administration where it is pure play and we're not pushing DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, or ideologies that the other country doesn't like or want. This is, trade or aid generally, and so it would have been a great economic opportunity for Greenlanders to get that start. Sands said the Danish government would be so smart to sit down with President Trump and work out a deal. Instead, they're trying to block all the progress. That's how they how they tried to hide the communications when the Chinese ambassador threatened the Faroe Islands with no trade deal if they didn't use the Hawaii for their 5G aid, Chinese state-owned enterprise. So there's a history of this. It's short-sighted, not long-sighted. I know it will be unsuccessful because the Greenlanders are going independent. And so since that's happening, the people running Denmark should really face reality and work out a plan that everyone can live with. So this is going to heat up quickly. So if they were to break away from Denmark, could they work out an agreement where we get permanent status there on one part of the island for military bases without them? And it sounds like it's far away from cities anyway, so it shouldn't impact them. Maybe get some minerals. I'm sure that'd be a workout for something like that. And they would bring economics and infrastructure building. I mean, you're going to build up your base. You're going to build up a military base, your Air Force ability, and maybe even naval certain times of the year. I mean, they're locked in 9 months out of the year. Wow. So planes in and out become very important. So this is huge. I just think it's a big deal, and we'll just have to see where this kind of goes. But pretty amazing stuff. But those words are pretty amazing and pretty striking that are coming from not only the administration but Vladimir Putin, Denmark, the Greenlanders themselves, and other people that are involved. But I don't think they're talking state, but they are talking, to be there, to have a presence there beyond what we have without any kind of limitations, to be able to have military operational base for protection and or, if needed, to launch out further and be closer to those locations that we might need to protect. So this is where it's at. So peace through strength, we can still say that. Doesn't mean we're going to war, but I do think it's serious business, and China's not slowing down. So we're getting prepared. We're getting on, may I say it, we're kind of getting on a war footing, but in peacetime. And we're getting things amped up and ready in case they're needed. Hence, I believe when the president said something about getting back into the shipbuilding, I don't think he meant the Princess of the Isles new cruise ship, although that could have been a possibility. I think he wants to build up the Navy, and I think you're probably going to see, because the naval ship numbers have been dwindling over the years. President Clinton, for one, cut it a bunch, but other presidents have as well. And we're not at a level we need to be. And naval leaders have said this for a long time. And I think you're going to be seeing a real push to get ships built. The Chinese are building their Navy big time and their Air Force. So we got to stay up with it. You can't allow them to outmaneuver you. And they're getting close. They're getting very close. And some say right now their Navy is bigger than our Navy overall. Number of ships. We're just gonna have to match it, folks. We got to match it. China's China. You gotta match it. So we will see. I don't know. So big time news this morning. Let's run another commercial for this time for Dubby, and we'll be right back. I think I played that in Podbean last time, so we'll do another ad over there. So we'll be right back, folks. Thanks for watching. Dave in the AM, Southern Fried MAGA, baby. Rocking your Saturday. I hope you're having a great time out there, wherever you're at, whatever time of day it is. I hope it's as beautiful in your area as it is here today. And let's have a great weekend. We'll be right back.
Hey, Southern Fried Podcast fans. This is Dave the AM for the Southern Fried Podcast. We want to advertise for W, who's got some special things going on. So are you tired of those energy drinks that you drink and they give you the jitters and the crashes that come from the typical drink? Look no further than W Energy Drink. It's a revolutionary new beverage that will keep you energized without any of those downsides. For a limited time, folks, W is offering an incredible 30% off on everything they sell. That's right. You can stock up on your favorite flavors and save big while enjoying the smooth, sustained energy that only W can provide. I'm a customer member, and I can testify to this. I love this drink. No shakes, no crashes. And if it can help my mental acuity, I'm happy too. Awesome. They have a unique formula that provides you a perfect balance of focus and vitality without any of those unpleasant side effects that we don't want. No more of those shaking hands, crashing you in the middle of the day. Just pure clean energy to help you tackle any challenge that comes your way. But don't wait too long. This 30% offer won't last forever. Go on over to W's website now and start shopping. Remember to smash that promo code Southern Fried into the area where they ask you to put that in there, and it'll help us as well. You're still going to get the 30%, but it'll let them know that you are supporting us, and so we appreciate it today. So try W Energy Drink and experience the difference for yourself. Your body and mind will thank you for making the switch to the energy drink that truly delivers on its promises. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save big and upgrade your energy game with W. Don't forget, use that promo code Southern Fried.
Yeah. You're the pulse to my bonafide electric desire. You're my star blaze rhythm, let me dance in your fire. And I just can't stop it all night, every day. Body on an old man, poor man, pleading with your eyes, gonna make it so.
Like love while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy.
And we're back. We're back. Some of our promos and or logos that we have in our store. We'll try to play our store before we go off the air. It is at Threadless, and we'll get that address up. Our store, though, you see the QR code there on the screen. But let me move my picture over. There we go. Use that QR code, and you can go to the store. You know, whether you shop, you just shop. You know, don't hurt. It don't cost you nothing to window shop. Great process though. We like the store. Our old store is still out there, but man, they got so frustrating to deal with. I couldn't even get my own store for a while, and it was so aggravating the way to update the products. With this store, Threadless, it is amazing. The prices are better. It's easy for us. We have doubled our options there in just a shorter period of time. I put up 3 new logos just this week, and you're going to be seeing many, many more. Some of them are the backgrounds for some of the shows, like Front Porch, our Cornbread Nation show. Some are new logos, coffee cups and stuff, images for coffee cups and really about anything. But I just ordered in. I don't know if I have it in the studio. I'm sure I do, but I have just ordered a hat in. Rob had it on last night, his shirt with the same logo. And I got a coffee mug in. It's on my table across the studio. So with our new Georgia logo. And just the opportunity, it supports the program, but it also gives you something of quality that is good. We use them. We buy them ourselves. And, don't forget Patriot Mobile. This is really a driver for us to drive the podcast and everything that we do. So go to Patriot Mobile, use your promo code Cornbread. Hey, look, it's going to save you a lot of money. These cell phone companies have gotten out of hand. You're still going to be able to get up on your network, whether it's Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile, but you're going to get a much better deal, and you're going to be supporting a company that's not woke. They're America first. We love Patriot Mobile. You're going to be seeing a lot more about that. In the last program, I believe I pulled this up on the 25th on Front Porch Talking. It'll be the first hour of the night. We're going to have a candidate for John Cornyn's seat in Texas on. I'm going to show you his picture now in just a second. As soon as it pulls up into the ready, kind of like an aircraft carrier, got the plane at the ready to go. So sitting there ready. I just got to upload it. Didn't upload it when we came on, but they've reached out and we're going to be live with them for an hour with him, and he's going to tell his story. He's a Christian, he's a patriot, he's a Texan, and they do not like some things that John Cornyn has. And there's a lot of conservatives in Texas that are frustrated and around the country. So not taking a side here, I'm just telling you the issues. We'll talk about all those issues and his story. And here is that gentleman right here, Duncan for Senate. Somebody said, he looks young. He's got a wife and 2 kids. He is young. Nothing wrong with young, as long as they got the right values. After all, it's better than not having the decrepit. The decrepit. We've got a lot of that. We got some people that needs to get out of the way. Maybe not John Cornyn, but his age is not as bad as some. But we got some that can't. Let's face it. We got people that have been in our serving in the U.S. now that are not able. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. Let's see if I can find it. Mine just disappeared. There we go. If Robert always does the camera move, so I don't do those too much. But we got some that are being basically they're not making the decisions. They just put a pen in their hand and or they use auto pen or whatever. But the staff is making the votes. There's no doubt the last months for sure, maybe longer. Dianne Feinstein's term, she wasn't doing it. And we know that President Biden, he wasn't doing it. They went beyond. And there's others. And it's time that some of these people go. I mean, term limits is the way, I guess. I'm open to whatever, but it's kind of hard. I think term limits is fair because it doesn't put an age on it. And some people can do like President Trump at a higher age than those that are about the same age like President Biden. It's just different. Everybody's different. Eventually it'll happen for President Trump as well. I mean, just death is forever one, except in one case, and that was with Jesus Christ. Death comes, mental decline comes, physical decline, physical abilities, coherency, everything could go off the rails. So term limits would help with that. It might not solve it, though, because somebody got elected. This is what people don't think. What if you get elected and you're already 75? Maybe a 2-term at 75, not good. So I don't think it's the totality of it. So people kind of get caught up in the catchphrases. They don't think all the way through them, and they think it's the great way to go. And I don't know. My brain thinks that way. And then people get mad at me and they think that I'm not for something. I'm just bringing up information that, that people would be interested, that would tell the story about, oh, no, somebody's opened my door there. There we go. Shut the door. Sorry. A little light on the matter. I guess they didn't know that I was online, but one of the grandkids, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't. It could be a lot of different ways that we handle this. What we got to have is people step down that are just can't do it anymore. And yes, that could be not because we tell them, but it could be Supreme Court. There comes a point in time where that happens. President Trump, a woman is somebody that can have a baby. Boy, the left will hate that. He's really talking about this issue of transgender. He said that, quote, Democrats continue to support transgender female athletes, quote, because they'll never win. He hopes that they do because they'll never win another election. As we just read from Victor Davis Hanson, American people, 80% strong, are against, of the electorate, of those who vote, are against this. I'm surprised it's not higher, but thank goodness for 80%. And so if they keep pushing that narrative, he's right, they'll continue losing elections. This goes across every demographic, every social, every financial factor. It doesn't matter who you are, every level, every type, every people group, every nationality, you name it. There's people that hate that. The majority hate it. So he was asked at a news conference to define what is a woman. Don't you just love it? I love it when he gets on to reporters. I love it. I mean, because sometimes it's like, really, that's the question. What is a woman? Define a woman. My gosh. I don't know who asked it, if it was a male or female who asked that. He added that a woman, quote, has a quality, or he said it was easy for him to answer because a woman is somebody that can have a baby under certain circumstances. A woman has a quality, and joked, a woman is a person who's much smarter than a man. I've always found that a woman is a person who doesn't give a man even a chance of success. And a woman is a person in many cases that has been treated very badly. So he likes to joke around, but also he says it's true. He went on to decry transgender athletes competing in women's athletic events, saying it's, quote, just ridiculous and very unfair to women and very demeaning to women. Concur with him, absolutely. He added that he hopes that they will continue because they're going to continue losing elections. That's a big deal. He concluded by saying, quote, women are basically incredible people who do so much for our country, and we love our women, and we're going to take care of our women, end quote. Now, some people might look at that last statement as demeaning, as they need looking after. But what he's saying is, that's what they'll do. They'll twist that. What he's saying is, we're going to stop this crap that's happening with a dude and pretending to be a woman who's trouncing the competition and winning athletic events all across the nation, and cheating these female athletes who have worked their tails off their whole career to get to these championships and competitions, and records are being broken by men, not by women. Women's records are being broken. But all the people that's already ran, the people that hold the records. This is ridiculous, as he said. And the fact that the reporter had to ask that question, whether to set him up or whatever it was, you, sir or ma'am, are an idiot, a jackleg. Stupid to ask that question. God. Wow, it gets my blood pressure up. And I don't need that. Oh. What about tips? The break on tips. President Trump has talked on this as well. He is considering an option on allowing the administration is considering an option allowing the president's 2017 tax cuts to expire for the top 1% richest Americans as a way to pay for his campaign promise of not taxing tips. This would be a big deal. The move would adjust the top tax rate from 37% to the pre-2018 rate of 39.6%. Would also lower the threshold of the top rate from $609,351 for an individual or $731,201 for a married couple. He first unveiled his vow to end federal income tax on tips during a campaign rally in Vegas last year. However, the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Federal Budget said Thursday that that pledge, in addition to extending Trump's signature 2017 tax cuts and some of his other proposals, could add $11 trillion to the debt over the next decade. Well, I think he's pretty committed to bringing the debt down, balancing the budget. So we'll see. But he is, once again, a politician that is continuing to work his campaign promises and trying to get there. You got to give him credit. It's not an easy thing to do. Most of them make promises and never look at it. They never care. He is doing that, and you got to give him credit. Like him or hate him, you got to give him credit for doing that. Another judge, he blocks the president's Voice of America firings. They can't be silenced just yet. Federal Judge James Paul Oetken blocked the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which runs the Voice of America, from firing more than 1,200 journalists, engineers, and other staff that it sidelined 2 weeks ago in the wake of President Trump's ordering its funding slashed. He issued a temporary restraining order barring the agency quote, any furlough or any further attempt to terminate, reduce in force, place on leave, furlough employees or contractors, and from closing any offices or requiring overseas employees to return to the U.S. Come on, dude. So if your budget is slashed and you refuse to cut or shut down anything, how are you going to pay these people? Oh, you're employed. We ain't got no check for you. We got no money. The order also bars the Agency for Global Media from terminating grant funding for its other broadcast outlets, including Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Radio Free Asia, and Radio Free Afghanistan. It said Thursday it was restoring Radio Free Europe's funding after a judge in Washington, D.C. ordered it to do so. This is a divisive victory for press freedom, and the First Amendment said a sharp rebuke to the Trump administration's utter disregard for the principles that define our democracy. Well, they like to throw around that word democracy until they're trashing it, right? Said the plaintiff's lawyer, Andrew G. Selly Jr. At a hearing Friday in Manhattan, you know how to be there, D.C. Oetken faulted the Trump administration for, quote, taking a sledgehammer to an agency that has been statutorily authorized and funded by Congress, end quote. He criticized the agency's leadership, including Special Advisor Kari Lake, for pulling the plug seemingly overnight on the U.S. government's global soft power megaphone with no consideration of the effects. That's not your job, dude. That's not your job to consider the consideration of the effects. Is it legal or not? See how these people work? He ruled after a coalition of Voice of America journalists, labor unions, and nonprofit journalism advocacy groups, Reporters Without Borders, sued the Trump administration last week to block the cuts. Ultimately, they seek to have Voice of America return to the air. They say that the shutdown violated a court's finding during Trump's first term that VOA and journalists have a free speech firewall protecting them from the White House interference. You can still be without a job, dude. If we just slash the funding and we order it down. I'm sure they'll try the same thing at NPR and PBS. Their absence from the airways has left a vacuum that's being filled by propagandists. That might be me. That's what they would consider me. Propagandists whose messages will monopolize global airwaves, the plaintiff said. Trump and other Republicans have accused Voice of America of a leftist bias and failing to protect pro-American values to its worldwide audience, even though it is mandated by Congress to serve as a nonpartisan news organization. They're not nonpartisan. They're not nonpartisan. Voice of America went off the air soon after he issued that, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, we'll see where that goes. Congress had appropriated nearly $860 million for the agency for global media for the current fiscal year. I kind of think that's money that could be well spent elsewhere. What do y'all think? I think so. but for a judge. But for a judge. By the way, again, he just said you can't shut it down. He didn't say nothing about the funding. How many people is going to sit there if there's no money? I don't know. Maybe they want to go independent and raise their own money. They've operated since World War II, beaming news into authoritarian countries that don't have free press. It began as a counterpoint to Nazi propaganda and played a prominent role in the U.S. government's Cold War efforts to curb the spread of communism. But that has long changed that voice. Carrie Lake said this: we want to make sure that these agencies are in line with what our American values are. We're telling America's story. We're not telling our adversary's story. She ended by saying this: by God, we're not going to be putting out anti-American garbage. Hooray. Yeah. I see people lose a job. Come on, your job stinks. I mean, what are you doing? You're thrashing America. You're just putting down. And we're funding it. I mean, if you want to go out and get some private, start your own private entity and raise money, and that's what America is about. But we don't have to fund it with our tax dollars. So, I don't know. By God. That's a Southern way of saying things. Well, by God. I know it's not, as a Christian, I don't want people using the, demeaning that, but I can say that I've heard that a lot in the South over my almost 60 years on the face of this planet. By God. It's definitely Southern. I guess she's a little Southern too, I guess. But I think it happens elsewhere. But that's definitely a Southern expression. Well, by God, you're not doing it. That's fighting words right there. Oh, me. FCC, I've been calling for an FCC. They need to go through it. They're opening a probe into diversity practices at Disney and ABC. That say that they may violate U.S. equal employment opportunity regulations. The chair, Brendan Carr, wrote Robert Iger, the Disney CEO, in a letter dated Thursday that the company's DEI efforts may not have complied with FCC regulations and that changes by the company may not go far enough. Quote, I want to ensure that Disney ends any and all discriminatory initiatives in substance, not just name, Carr wrote in the letter, which was seen by Reuters. He has sent letters to Comcast and Verizon announcing similar probes into diversity practices. Quote, we are reviewing the FCC's letter and we're looking forward to engaging with the commission to answer its questions, a Disney spokesperson said. Well, you would think that they would all be in line there because they've got a problem. They've had problems with those organizations for a while. I mean, what is it they're not in line with? Is it the changes that we're trying to make, or is this pre-Trump? I'm not sure on that. But there's been charges at Disney for some time. This is nothing new. Disney recently revised its executive compensation policies to remove DEI as a performance metric, adding a new standard called talent strategy. Again, I think the president needs to look at the FCC. They've been the party poopers for some time. They've also allowed things into the homes of Americans should not have been there. They allow some things while prohibiting. They've also been used as a bully to conservatives. Absolutely. So we'll see where that goes. Every company, every entity on the face of American soil right now is looking at DEI, mine included. And what I read was what we would say as, it's good people. It's the obvious that, the best people, we want this diversity of talent from wherever, but that just because you're this or that, it's what can you do? What can you offer? I mean, we would really classify it as the best person for the job that we don't discriminate based on anything, which is federal law anyway. And we would never do that, but we want a talent pool that comes across all forms of people and their talents and bring them into our company and make our company better. Absolutely. Nobody's against that. So I think everybody's tightening up to make sure that if there's a look into their policies, that it lines up with what is being spoken now, and just reemphasize that people are our best resource, and that we want the best people here, not just to fill a spot for a particular ideology or reason or whatever. We're gonna pull those from everywhere they can come from. I'm all for that. So that wherever you work, unless you are independently employed or retired or whatever, your company is probably reviewing these things right now. I'm in training, so we train these principles, DNI, and I've looked through the material. It's very moving. By the way, there's a show. We show a video that is really good. It was filmed a few years ago in Alabama, and it's you may have seen this. I'm trying to think of the name of the show that put this on. It was all actors in place, but the customers coming in were they didn't know what was going on. And the same scenario: girl behind the counter, older guy, and he asked her to repeat something about the menu or something, saying he can't read. And she is an actress, and she is shellacking him and mocking him. And they wanted to see the people's response in this. It was all done in one city at this particular place, and they would come out and interview them. The last person in the video is a teacher, and she was in tears. And it was very moving, very very moving. It's a great video. I need to get that. I'd like to show that on the podcast. It's a really good. We can, don't know if we can. We can at least give the address to it, a link to it, and show that. I think we could show it. I don't think it'd be a problem, but to let people just at least see portions of it, a section of it. We're not going to play all of it, but anyway, because you got to watch for copyright. But yeah. So I think that would be really good. If you've seen that, I wish I could remember the name of it. I've watched it. It's very moving, very very moving. We'll take a quick break. We're going to talk about the new F-47. F-47. Remember the days of the F-16s, 15s, 16s, 22s? F-47, baby. Tell me President Trump isn't pushing forward. I know this started before him, but he's going to put this. He's going to put these things out there. Absolutely. Let's take a look at our store. We'll be right back.
Yes, Robert and Dave, y'all.
Southern Fried Podcast fans, this is Dave in the AM. I want to tell you about our store. We've been promoting it a little bit. We wanted to promote it a little bit more and let you know we've been adding some designs to it. And we're continuing to do that. Right now, there's a summer sale going on. You're going to see here in just a second what kind of discounts you can get. They're pretty amazing. Our old store became cumbersome and it was not easily updated. And we have since went to a new store, and the old one is still there. And if you decide to shop there, that's fine. But this is our new store, and it is so easy for us to manage. And we want to thank the folks at Threadless for that. So on the screen right now, you see some shirts of some of the different designs. One of our newest one is the Georgia outline, the red one. We really like that. You see some of our classic designs. You see some here that you may not have seen before. And again, we're designing and adding to just about every week. You see hats. There is just about anything in there. And we're trying to add more products all the time, as well as those new designs. So go shop at the Southern Fried Podcast store, and you'll be able to get some of these things too. Here's the QR code for that. And you can see at the top of the page, 40% off right now. These are amazing prices going on. The store is very affordable. Me and Rob wanted as best the prices as we could get. And this is the place that we found to be able to do it. And there's the address. You can copy that out or use the QR code. We thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and watching the shows and supporting us and letting us know how much you enjoy it. You mean a lot to us. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon. This is David the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast. We are now an affiliate of Podbean. Podbean is an audio platform which helps you get your voice out there. You can go online and go live from your very phone that you use. You don't have to have a lot of special equipment. It's nice to have a studio, but it's expensive. You can do those things from your phone. Hey, I was a listener of Podbean before I even became a podcaster. Maybe you've thought about being one. There was a time when I didn't think about being a podcaster, but think about it. You've got things to share. It could be as simple as baking, or it could be working on a car. The stories are endless that you could come up with to be a podcaster. And there are people out there that want to listen and to your stories and to your shows. And we're thankful for all those that watch and listen to us. Podbean is now an affiliate of the Southern Fried Podcast. Unless you're a business plan, that would be the bottom one. The one on top, use that. You'll get discounts, and also the Southern Fried Podcast benefits in this as well. I love Podbean. They also help launch out to many other audio sites. This saves me time. Time is precious. Time to be on the podcast. Time for research. Time to be with family. And yes, time to work. Yes, we still work out there in the workforce. So become a podcaster. Use Podbean. And when you use these links, one of them, you will save money, and you'll also help the Southern Fried Podcast. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Colquitt Chuck, our groundhog. We have our groundhog. We're going to announce next year whether our groundhog has seen its shadow. To heck with Puxatony Phil. We're wrong anyway. Nothing against you Pennsylvanians, but you know what? We don't need Puxatony down here. We don't need Staten Island Chuck. We got our own Chuck. Love you, Beauregard Lee down in Georgia. Jackson, I think, somewhere around there. And all the other, there's quite a few of them around the country, groundhogs. Well, by gosh, or by God, as Carrie Lake said, we got her on, Colquitt Chuck. And Colquitt Chuck may make an appearance in I'm almost certain that will eventually make an appearance in the new Jub and Bubba show. They just outgrew, right? They needed their own space. So we may still see them in some of our other programming, but and they'll be released out. But the Jub and Bubba show is coming. The Jub and Bubba show is coming. Probably, maybe next week, maybe this coming week, starting tomorrow, next week. But there is a song. We played that earlier in the previous show. And the Jub and Bubba show with other cast of characters that will be coming along, produced right here from the banks of the Southern Fried River in Studio A. We do have a Studio B. It is in South Georgia. South Georgia, they get Studio A. The northern part of the state gets Studio A. Studio B is South Georgia where Rob. So Studio A, which does have some production there for JJ, which may make an appearance. But the bulk of the Jeb and Bubba show will be produced right here at Studio A from the banks of the wonderful meditation time soft flowing river down through Georgia that will flow by Studio B in Colquitt, Georgia. We will be in Colquitt on April, 18th, 19th, I think, for the Mayhaw Festival, and getting geared up for that. I was just on the talking to Rob, and there it is, 19th, the Mayhaw, the 42nd National Mayhaw Festival. We will be there. Those on Podbean, you can't see it, but I put up a flyer for that. Not expecting everybody to drive to South Georgia to go. This is extreme South Georgia, folks. But we're going to be there. We're going to be at some other festivals too. So maybe not even, and probably not even just in Georgia. We've got 3 planned in Georgia, but we may be in another state. We're exploring options. So we'll see. But you can go on the live stream, and we will be on the live stream for the Mayhaw. There is a Mayhaw in Arkansas festival. I didn't know this till recently. Rob, he scoffed at that. Oh, they don't got no right to do that. Well, yeah, they can. I don't know that Jeb and Bubba will make an appearance at this festival, but we'll see. But the Jeb and Bubba show is coming. The Adventures of Uncle Jeb and George Bubba. Jeb and Bubba show coming, along with a cast of characters. F-47. Maybe one day. I won't live long enough to see the F-100s before even here. The F-47, General David W. Alvin, Air Force Chief of Staff, told Newsmax that the new air dominance of 6th generation F-47 jet fighter is designed to, quote, put a warhead on a forehead if the president asked, end quote. Think about that, all you American haters, you Hamas, Hezbollah, mullahs from Iran, you Houthis. Here come the Houthis. You raise up your ugly head to denounce America. You can denounce, but don't attack. You attack our shipping lanes. You attack our military personnel. You're causing death and destruction. You're hurting American interest. You might just be the receiver of a warhead on your forehead. I'm going to put that's going to be a quote. My gosh. My God. That's going to be a quote. I'm definitely going to have that. NC always coming through with some conversation that I like. His real name is Maximus Aurelius, but his real name is Maximus Aurelius. He was Rome's best fisherman. Yes, by God, warhead on the forehead. I'm claiming it. I am. That's going to be on a coffee cup by next week at our store. By gosh. As Southern Fried Podcast, warhead on the forehead. You dang Skippy, by God. I love it. He goes on to say that the government's contract with Boeing, not Lockheed, that hurts. That's a Georgia-based Lockheed. I think they have another location too. It is the bomb. All these teenagers worried about zits and pimples on their forehead or their cheeks or their chins or noses or whatever else. By God, warhead on the forehead. I'm claiming that one. I'm using it. I'm going to put the SFB brand on that. It's a Southern Fried thing. Oh, it means a new approach in military air strategy. Well, by God, I guess it does. A new strategy. We'll put the warhead on your forehead. By God. Whistle down your whistle. I like that one too. He said it's frankly like stepping into the future because not only will it have advanced capabilities. I mean, is that not advanced enough? Hide your forehead or your whistle. When it comes, let's see, it'd be the most survivable and the deadliest that we've ever seen when it comes to air superiority. But it has allowed us to enter a new phase where it will also control unmanned platforms. Uh-oh. He said the F-47 pilots will control various supporting unmanned aircraft on their missions. Oh, they have friends. Friends. So from the cockpit, they will have drone capability. It's more than a drone, though, because he goes on to say, we call them drones, but don't think of a drone like a small quadcopter. quadcopter. I know what he means. You see him at festivals and stuff. Hey, good afternoon, Killer Carl. So it's not the normal drone that you have with the all the spinning blades and everything. He said. He says, don't think it was drawn like a small quadcopter. Think of it as a small fighter plane that will be unmanned. And by God, we're going to put what did he say? The warhead on your freaking forehead. I love that. I'm claiming it. This is what the general said. NC was, but I do like this one, NC, as well. Missile down your whistle. Take that, you Houthis. He said it should put fear. Well, by God, it wasn't me. He put fear into America's potential adversaries. Raise your ugly, American-hating head up, and we'll put a warhead on, by God, on your forehead. Take that. Killer Carl, I hope you're doing well. Folks, basically, if you're not following Killer Carl, you're losing out. You are losing out. I mean, you have got to go to Rumble and you have got to follow Killer Carl. You got to do that. And it's captive characters. Absolutely. I am a watcher of the program as often as I can. And C4 up here. Stop. We're going to get a whole bunch of them, NC. But back to what I said, he keeps distracting me with these sayings. But Killer Carl is an awesome program on just about every day, I think. And they bring it. And I like it. They bring it fast and furious in your face. Have great programming. Just tell me what time, brother. I'm there. I'm sorry you didn't have my email. I'm killing myself here. Tuesday, just give me the time. I'm there, brother. I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. And I won't put the warhead on your forehead. He said it's a new dawn, a new era for air power in the 21st century. He said the military has been flying test aircraft referred as X-planes. The production schedule for the F-47 will move up rapidly. Well, by God, we got to have something to put on Greenland's new air base. Oh, so we are very mature in the concept as we look to build them and do the actual flight tests of the production aircraft. Our intent is to have them within the next 36 to 40 months. Yeah, take that. Yes, sir. I thank you for saying that. Also, guys, download the John Fredericks TV app for your smart TV, Roku, Box Fire Stick, and Apple TV. I'm launching a TV show in a month on that network at 5 o'clock every day. Awesome, my man. Awesome. I will do that today. Thank you for reminding me to do that. And I have one here in the studio. I actually fixed it out too. And we'll do that. John Fredericks. I'm gonna leave that up for a second, folks. Y'all do that today and follow Killer Carl on Rumble channel, Killer Carl, where every program gets you fired up to start the program because they bring the music. Yes, I love it. I mean, just go watch while they're getting themselves geared up for the show. You're getting geared up. The pre-music. We're not talking about Mary Had a Little Lamb here. Bringing it. Oh, you're welcome, brother. We love you, man. But bring it. Bringing the music in your face. I remember Def Leppard years ago had the In the Round In Your Face tour. This is definitely in your face music. I look forward to that. Oh, tonight, Saturday nights around 7:30ish, I think it is. Just go there and be ready. You won't be disappointed. And and Tuesday, kicking and screaming, warhead on the forehead. Dave will be there with Killer Carl. This is awesome. They're great people. I'm cutting up, but I mean it with a sincerity of heart. I hope that comes through. I mean what I say. Make sure you follow Killer Carl and some other great Rumble folks like Angry Conservative 1981, Kim's Coffee Shop. These are great people. These are great Americans, patriotic Americans. They love this country. They're tired of the crap. And they say it like it is. If you can't handle it, check your feelings at the door. Seriously, when did we get so weak in America? When can Americans not take the listening of stuff? You know, it's like comedy, man. People started getting their feelings hurt. That killed comedy. I mean, come on. I like a good presidential roast. They're funny, or entertainer roast. They're funny. Deal with it. Check your feelings at the door. We're Americans. What do we care about what other people said about us? Oh, we're so, the world hates us. We don't care. When did we care? This has always been an American thing. We don't care what you say. We don't bow to you. We don't kiss the ring. We don't care what you think about us. We don't care. It's none of your business, as me and Rob like to say on the show. It's none of your business what we do. It's like being pulled over in America and they want to know where you're going. It's none of your freaking business. I go where I want to go. I'm an American. Where are you coming from? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. Shut up. I suggest you tell the officer to shut up, but that's my opinion. We're nice about it, but it's none of your business. And to the world, you're not getting the Statue of Liberty back, Mr. French politician. Vinny and Sal. Well, now when we said NC, it was Vinny and Sal, right? That's our front guys on the shore of Jersey there, on the because they got to be Jersey guys. They got to be. They're out there telling the people on the ship, shut your face. You don't like it, be swimming with the fishes. You're not getting it back. It's ours. We need Vinny and Sal to tell the world. We don't care. It's like, shut your face. We don't care. I mean, it's just amazing to me. When did we stop being men and women and Americans and proud of that and listening to these knuckleheads, the Tim Walzes of the world? I gotta be careful here. I'm gonna say something I shouldn't. I don't care. I mean, these freaks, I'm going to say it anyway, these freaks up there talking about smelling the burning that's going on in their city and how great it smelled. You people need to leave the country. You're sick. Yes. Swimming with the fishes in your concrete shoes. That's right. Oh, warhead on your forehead, baby. Oh, I have often loved when we've been in battle and you got the little terrorists that are running around in their little truck with a machine gun mounted on the back, and we've got the night vision going on from the Apache or whatever we have up there, the Warthog. I don't care what it is. Well, those are some bad things. I love that. Yeah. Warthog. Come and tear you up, baby. And you see these people running around, they fire their little, by the way, what a bunch of idiots. Oh, they have a big get together, big powwow. I know it ain't popular to say, but that's what it is. War dance, war party. They're bragging, we're going to take down America. And they're firing their little automatics up in the air. Like, we're not impressed. And we're so not impressed when we watch you doing that in operations. And you shoot up at the copter. It's not a copter, really. That's not fair to say. It's a killing machine. Let's face it. It's what it is. And we're the best at it. And they just open up. Goodbye, Mr. Terrorist. How many of you there are? And they try to hide behind a truck. You see them, they like duck down. They're firing over the top and they duck down behind the truck. And so we just hit the other button and the missile goes in. And there's a black spot left on the ground where truck and terrorist was. I love it. I got no problem with it. You're killers. That is true. They just fire them up in the air. Yeah! Yeah. Coming back down. It's the air of the living. Yeah. We fly whenever we want to fly, wherever we want to fly. Wouldn't you want to be the special forces guy that came in on bin Laden? And he hides behind his woman. That dude forever. That's a moment. That's a drilling moment. It's like, that guy should never buy another beer for himself the rest of his life. That's my opinion. Free beer for him. Free beer for him. And whoever the guy was that pulled Saddam Hussein up out of that hole that he was in, like those holes are toilets. I mean, basically, that's what they do. Yeah, I know they're tunnels, but come on. A lot of places, the hole in the ground is the toilet. So they pulled him up out of a toilet. And the last we seen of him, he was being dropped off of his platform to his death, to his eternal, to his paradise. I have no problem with it, and I don't care that I'm glad they televised or recorded it and shared it and whatever else. Killer Carl, all these radical Islamic Muslims are cowards. They strap bombs on their children and send them into crowded marketplaces and use their women as shields. That's absolutely correct, and they're not brave. They're sick. So you get what you get. The Arab Eliminator. We're going to print that on the side of the Apache or the Warthog or something. Yeah. That people just get over it. Get over your feelings about it. Now, you know what? These people they'd blow your house up in a second if they could get to you. They don't care. They hate you. And we don't like you either. So as many of you that we can eliminate that are firing at us, the Houthis or whoever they are, that are threatening to sink our ships, you get what you get, the warhead on the forehead. You know what? We got capabilities. We're going to use them. Why would you sit on the capability? That's been the problem with Americans military for a long time is we don't finish the job. We don't take it. We don't take it to the limit. We pull back. No. Finish the job. There's still a threat there. Just keep firing until they quit firing. Like I said. Yes, it's true, brother. It is the Antichrist. Death and destruction is the religion of it. And those guys, they preach it. They say, go kill Americans. The great Satan, they call us. The great Satan. You know, everybody talks about Israel. It's little Satan. We're the great Satan. And they hate us. And so, yeah, they tell them to go into little pizzerias and little restaurants with a bomb strapped on. And they go in there and they, they're blowing innocent people up while they're trying to have a day out with their family and whatever. These are not nice people. They're not human. They're evil. Yeah. We finished the job. The military industrial complex can't continue to make money. I understand. I know. The dirty, dirty secrets. Yes. You got to go make more stuff and sell it and then go out and practice it, you know. I've often said, isn't Africa like the place where all militaries practice their latest inventions? Honestly. There's a war going on in Africa, multiples all the time. And I think that's where your CIA, special forces of different countries, that's where they practice this stuff. They say, oh, we got a new weapon. Okay, where can we go out in Africa and we could drop it in and let's test this out? Because there's always a war going on somewhere. There is always a problem. There's always a need for a solution. That's true. That's true. Continual, right? It's like the little rat running in the wheel, right? That's what they are. Hamster, rat. Okay, if you got one, I'm not being mean. That's what it is to me, though. Oh, man. I love this guy, though. He's gave me a great slogan. Warhead on the forehead or missile in your NC. We go come up with all kinds of new sayings. I will have a logo for that by tonight. I promise you. Oh, it'll be our more extreme side of the podcast. And the criers, they will be offended and tell us. I told you, if you got haters, you're doing good. I don't know if Killer Carl's still there. I wonder how many. He's way big. God bless him. I wish him well. I'm proud of him for what he's doing. He deserves everything. He's worked hard. You don't get there without working your butt off. I say that with all due respect. It's not a slam. That is a brag. I love where he's at. I wish the best for all contemporaries in the biz or whatever you want to call it. Their passion for what they do. But you don't get to where you're at without some haters along the way, because just put yourself out there like that. And I can tell you this, I don't even have to ask. He don't care. If you want to know how much he cares about that, just watch his show. And he'll tell you. He don't care. He don't care that your little feelings are hurt. And I love that. Goodbye, Podbean. We're fixing to go anyway. I'm losing Podbean. I've been on for a while. So goodbye to those listening in Podbean. We appreciate their support. Again, we're going to be getting off here in the next few minutes. I've got to go. Got things to do. I've had fun. That's great. Continue watching other Podcasters Zone. We've got shows out there as well you can watch. Patriot Mobile, baby. Promo code Cornbread. By the way, Killer Coffee is still out there. That coffee is great. 55coffee.com. Put in the promo code. What is it? Carl, help me out. Carl 30. I'm saying that wrong. What is it? If you're still in here, put in that promo code. It's 55coffee.com, right? 55coffee.com. Promo is no, it's not 30. It's Carl 15. I had it in my head. If you're still there, please drop that in. If not, I'll find it tonight. I ordered it. It's great coffee. We got about 4 or 5 different kinds of coffee in the studio, and I put that. My wife loves it. She loves that coffee. It's good coffee. So I want to support the podcast, and he advertises for 55coffee.com, I think it's called, and I'll get that up. We're gonna get a card on that, not with our stuff on it. Killer Carl's on there, and put that out there because I'm gonna tell you until we get our coffee, and that's coming. We'd still do it, but we're gonna have our own coffee too later on. Later on. In the absence of that, I want to give you a great coffee and give you a promo code that's going to help Killer Carl and save you some money. But I've got money, and they sent as a bonus. Let me say this. They sent as a bonus some Guatemalan coffee. I wasn't expecting that. I said, well, what's 2 packages? I only ordered 1. And someone once told me that the F in communism stands for food. I love you, man. But they sent me a bonus, and I was happy about that. Extremely happy. I tell you what, because I'm going to take just a short break. I promise you. Let me just drop down, put some music on. I want to grab this coffee, and I want to make sure I'll have to get that promo code, but I'm going to show you the coffee because I want to make sure that you see that. Hang with us for a second. You know what? Just listen to music. It ain't going to kill you. Read a book, throw a ball at the dog, watch it chase it, whatever. I'll play you a little bit of the song of the new Jeb and Bubba show. And let me just jump up and grab this real quick. All right, here we go. I'll be right back.
Uncle Jeb's got his overalls on. He's hauling down the lane. Georgia Bubba's hiding his face, thinking, here we go again. Jeb's got a jug of moonshine, stories too wild to tell. Bubba's blushing, but laughing, he knows Jeb's raising hell. Oh, Uncle Jeb, you're crazy as they come, yelling at the rooster like the world's come undone. Bubba shakes his head, but deep down he knows life's sweeter with Jeb wherever he goes. They fished down at the creek, Jeb lost his right boot. Hollered that dang catfish just stole my Sunday suit. Bubba rolled his eyes but stayed by his old friend's side. Through all those wild misadventures, it's a heck of a ride. Oh, Uncle Jeb, you're crazy as they come, yelling at the rooster like the world's come undone. Bubba shakes his head, but deep down he knows.
Yeah.
Life's sweeter with Jeb wherever he goes.
That's right. Join the new Jeb and Bubba show next week. That'll probably air on Saturday night. Uncle Jeb, Georgia Bubba, and a cast of characters. God, it smells so good. So good. Let me pull it back up my chat here. Jeb, yeah, Jeb. What a mess. The adventures of they just got kicked out of a Buc-ee's. You've ever been to Buc-ee's before in Texas? Buc-ee's. Folks, this is where it's at right here. Man, it smells so good. When I opened the box up, my wife could smell that. And she's like, I want a cup. I want a cup of that. It's called 55 Coffee. You can see it on there. This is the Freedom Blend. And what does that say? roasted Minnesota. 55coffee.com. And the promo code for Carl, I think, is Carl15. I hope I'm right on that. Carl15. Try that promo code. You'll help Killer Carl, and you're going to get yourself one heck of a cup of coffee. I promise you. I love this coffee. I don't back anything I don't believe in. And I can tell you that we love this right here. We love this. And it smells so good. When I came in this morning, I just used the K-cup and made a cup of coffee. And opening the drawer and pulling this out, I'm going to have to make some before I head up to the house from the studio, from the banks of the Southern Fried River. Oh, man. And I should have grabbed the Guatemala. I haven't even opened it up yet. They threw it in as a bonus. And thank you, 55 Coffee, Killer Carl, C-A-R-L, I believe, C-A-R-L, not the K, C-A-R-L 15. You'll get a discount. He gets help. But you know what? That's the bomb. They've got some other things. That's the Freedom Blend. They've got some others. This is considered a medium ground dark. Medium ground dark. You can see it there. There. Boom. Great stuff. Look them up. You know what? This is the best part of podcasting. Besides interacting with all of you, it's getting companies like this out here. I don't know these folks. They don't know me. But you know what? I can help them out. This is an online place. They don't have overhead and stuff. You know what? They're just trying to get their stuff out. God bless them. I love it. You don't need that's a fine logo. You don't need something fancy. You're paying for all that. This is great. Man, I'm telling you, I know you can't smell it. But I'm telling you, that is great coffee. I'm going to make a pot before I go up. And absolutely. Dang Skippy. So I got to go to work for a bit. But I'm fired up and ready to go now. By God, warhead on your forehead. We're not going to forget that, NC. Absolutely. Jim. He's not close by or I'd grab him. But that's going to be a fun show. Oh, my gosh. We have so much fun recording those bits. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's going to expand, too, because we've been limited because they've been in immersed, looking for the word, into other shows. So it's limiting. There was never designed to be a part of the whole show. This is their show. This is all them. You won't see me. They'll have their own song, their own logos. It's all them and other characters that'll come along, and you get to see expanded short bits with them. Short by 2 to 5 minutes. Then they'll move on. It'll be fast hitting. They'll move on to other things. Every week, though, about the adventures, there'll be some Southern humor, political humor. Dang Skippy, by God. But it'll be wholesome fun and stuff. So, hey, we appreciate all of you being here today. This is a nice crowd in here today. Thank you for that. If you haven't followed us before, give us a like and a follow and all that stuff. It does help. We're up over 41,000, probably 42 by now. 42,000 total followers. That's big to us, small to some, but big for us. And it's growing every day. And we are so thankful. We'll be loading out some of our MAGA minutes. I didn't get it uploaded to put in the show. I was going to do that. I should have. But I'll be releasing some of those that we didn't get to this week. They're there. I just need to get them uploaded. And thank you, though. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Your input, your watching, your supporting, your sharing. Share us out to your contacts. That's how we grow. And we promise you that we'll be here and we'll keep doing our best to bring you some entertainment and some news and some whatever else. So still things in the cooker that we haven't unveiled yet that we're trying to get to. I just went up to the store or the drive-thru to get a biscuit. And the lady said, "Hey, you're my I said, podcast." She said, "Yes, podcaster." She knew me. So that's cool. She thinks it's the coolest thing. So that's how you grow. Person to person, friend to friend. That's what we are. We grow to like-minded people. And the haters, if you're watching, we love you. You're keeping us alive. That's how we know you're there. You hate on us. But you're watching. I don't think there's any haters in here this morning, but Thanks, NC. Thanks, Killer Carl. Others that came along, Lewis, Jeff the Fats. Love that. Came in here. Who else? That was the only ones came in the chat. And I mean, we've got got some laughter emojis over here at Instagram. Thank you for that. South of Oz on Podbean and whoever else is out there. Quite a few of you. Thank you for that. We had to ban somebody last night. I hate doing that. You know what? You come in, you start saying things off the chain, making comments that are racist. You're gone. I mean, come on. That's hater. That's the kind of haters we can't have here. So we timed out one person. We banned one person. That's only like the fifth or sixth person we've ever banned. We're pretty blessed. You know what? You get what you get. You ask for it, we give it to you. By God, right? NC? Warhead on the forehead. Salute. We're going to go with some music on the way out. Take care. God bless. Have a great Saturday. Call your mom up if she's still living. Tell you love her. Get in touch with them grandkids today. Whoever it is. You daddy too. Daddy too. But get with those folks and let them know. Time is short. You just never know. And, we're excited to have our family with us. I don't have my mom and dad anymore on either side, my wife's family or mine on either side. We just don't have it anymore. But we're glad you're here. If you have them, call them up and tell them. Life is short. Make today count. Encourage somebody today. Make America greater today. Go to church tomorrow if you can. It'll make you better. It can't, if you'll let it, it'll help you get better. I know I need it. Join us in the morning. Sunday morning in the Word. We'll come on a little earlier, I think. Maybe about 7:30 to about 8:30. Bump that up a little bit. I need a little bit more time to help my wife get into the vehicle and get stopped a couple of times and get to church. So I think we're going to start at 7:30 in the morning. But we'll be out and about on the streams posting stuff this afternoon. We'll see you soon. Salute. Warhead on your forehead. Don't forget it. You can see that in our store next week.
Well, it's early in the morning. Grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm. Let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to MAGA minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hump Day News, we keep it real with down home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give 'em a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give 'em a hand?
Steve, when she finds out what you said, you're going to be wheezing, all right? Miss Elizabeth, Steve said, so 2% milk and store-bought cornbread then. All right, I guess I'll try it.
I still didn't hear you, Rob. I lost you.
He said, so
Dave said something
2%
about
milk.
2% milk.
Yes. He said, so 2% milk and store-bought cornbread then. I guess I'll try it.
Oh my gosh. Steve said that?
Steve said that. Celtic Blacksmith.
Steve! You might go to hell. No! Oh my heavens! Oh, that hurts my heart. No, Steve, no.
Yeah. You're the pulse to my motor, my electric desire. You're my star blaze rhythm, let me dance in your fire. And I just can't stop it all night, every day. Got me under pressure. She got me under pressure. She likes the ideas of young. She don't like the love dog. She find that the mind is body on an old man, poor man, pleading with your eyes, gonna make you so.
Like love while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy.